Hello, this is Danny Schwab with Keyrenter South Florida Property Management. I am the broker owner. Today, I'd like to go over a very common thing that we deal with when we bring on new properties, new owners, that especially owners that have had long-term tenants, great tenants that we want to keep. And these properties are typically well below market value. Rents are low, haven't had steady rent increases, and these owners have personal relationships with the tenants. Emotions get involved. The tenants can manipulate and kind of take advantage of the situation in some time. So this is a very common thing when we bring on new properties. We establish what the market rent is, and then the owners say, hey, I don't want my tenants to leave. I don't want them to go. But they understand that we're brought on to oversee the property, take care of maintenance and repairs, make sure that there's routine inspections going on, that the property is well maintained inside and out. We have to have rent increases, right? Anybody who lives in Florida, owns real estate in Florida, especially South Florida, understands the expenses. Insurance constantly going up, HOA dues constantly going up, materials and cost of living constantly going up. So you have to get rent. Otherwise, you're really leaving money on the table, right? So what I like to do is to obviously have a one-to-one with the tenant. Let them know that we appreciate their rental history, that we understand that they've been there and taking care of the property and this is their home. But then also establish that we are now the property manager and we need to do an inspection and we want to look at your property and we want to see any deficiencies that we can improve. Maybe a long-term tenant hasn't had a new paint job. Maybe their blinds are falling apart. Carpet is over 7 years. Maybe it's time to go from carpet to tile or carpet to luxury vinyl plank, which is a common thing we do in Florida. So we want to come in there and establish that maintenance is being taken care of, that they understand that we do same day air conditioning, same day plumbing, emergency repairs are all done the same day, to establish that we're on their side, that we're going to give them hopefully better service than they've had previously. So then we ask them within reason, right? What would you like improved in the property? And you find all kinds of things. The garbage disposal's rattling and crazy. The fridge makes all kinds of middle of the night noises. Smoke detectors aren't there. Carbon monoxide detectors are there. All kinds of things that need to be updated. So we start there, establishing ourselves as their property manager, that we care about them, that maintenance and repairs are super important, establish that bond, and then we talk about rent increases. So what we do at that point within the rent increase is that we show them the comps, show them what comparable properties in their area are renting for. So if they're below market value, they understand now that the rental value, where the rental value is in their community for comparable properties. I'll show them listings and say, hey, listen, you're paying $1,500 a month. Your property, a comparable property, is renting for $2,200 a month. Well, you're not going to get $700 rent increase day one. Doesn't happen. Not with long-term tenants. So my philosophy is over the next 2 to 3 years, we give them rent increases, $250, $350, whatever the owner's comfortable with, whatever we can get, whatever we can, establish as positive with the tenants, give them updated items, make sure their property is working well, make sure that old oven that's, maybe got burners on it, get them a nice glass top oven, something they want. Again, I talked about some of the other things, carpet to tile or updating, painting, and making sure that they feel comfortable in the home, and then give them rent increases over the next 2 to 3 years to get them to market value, right? We don't want to come in and say my way or the highway and kick people out because they're not able to make that rent increase immediately, right? And the next step to this is obviously we're having conversations, but then present to them in writing a new lease, because we always want to get people onto our Keyrenter lease when we're doing a rent increase. It's a great opportunity and not work off the realtor lease or somebody else's lease. Our leases is written by awesome set of attorneys that we work with, updated every year. They're there to protect the owners. They're all legal in the state of Florida. We have addendums. We really want to make sure that all our tenants are all on the same page with the lease, present it to them in writing, offer them, again, a slow increase over a few years. And some people aren't going to make it. Some people aren't going to want a rent increase. They don't care about updating the property. They say, hey, I just want it. The thing I get all the time is I never call about issues. I take care of them myself. I don't want anybody coming to the property. Red flag. We have to go to the property. We have to do routine inspections. We have to take care of the property and make sure it's maintained and everything in the property is safe for everybody that lives in that unit, in the community, and it's really important. So not everybody's going to make it. So hopefully, when you take on a multifamily building, or you take on a property that has a few units, some people leave, some people stay, but it's what we have to do, right? Nobody's expenses are getting cheaper in Florida. Nobody's insurance is getting cheaper. Nobody's roof is getting better every day, right? We have to replace these things. It's super expensive to operate properties with insurance, with HOA dues, with new roofs, converting to impact glass windows and doors, and just doing everything that has to be done at the property, the exterior work of the property, the exterior painting, interior painting. It's turning your former home, maybe you lived in this condo before you got married, it's turning into an annuity, something that has a return on investment and that will continue to have a return on an investment for the next 10 years, 15 years. So then you have this annuity that's growing, that it's being updated on a regular basis. It's at market value, so that it could be a retirement plan for you. It could be a way to set up your kids, have them each have one of these properties. So it's really important to have rent increases, to know what the market value is, to work with people like us, or a real estate professional, to determine what the fair rental market is. It's not about getting the most rent. I'm fine if we're a little bit below $100, $150 below the market rent, but I don't want to be $500, $800 below market rent. And that is often what happens when we take on a self-managing property. Happy to talk to anyone about their property needs at Keyrenter South Florida Property Management. Thank you.